What is happening, everybody? It's CJ from Dream Diecast Cars, and today I'm going to be kicking off a new segment called What's the Deal? Basically, What's the Deal just goes like this. It starts off with What's the Deal with you guys, where I go over some of the comments that you guys have left on my videos or my channel. Then it goes on to What's the Deal with a certain car maker. Today, you probably saw by reading the title that car maker is Kyosho. So let's start rolling right into it. Alright, now to our first comment. We have Neo Alejandrino said, can you do a review of a McLaren MP4-12C? Well, I'm not really sure where to get one of the normal ones yet. I'm thinking of waiting until AutoArt probably makes one and comes out with one or something. Maybe I'll order that. Right now I'm actually bidding on one of the racing versions on eBay. I'm crossing my fingers that I'm going to get it. So yeah, I'm really hoping I can do that, and then maybe I can put out a video like that. So now we have from Android Fusion, says, you have a bowling alley in your house? Well, I don't really. I just want to answer this just to show you guys. This was on the Ferrari F430 made by BBR video. Let's cut to that. It's over there. It's like, it has these little like salt things on it, and you throw like a puck down through it or something. So it's pretty much, it's not like a real bowling alley. That'd be pretty sick though. Okay. Then we have from That Nigga from Arkansas, says, love your videos. Hey, thanks, man. Then on the flip side, we have Neko Pagosian, who says, gay. 14 likes. Wow, guys, come on, way to stand up for me there. If you want to go dislike that comment, it's on the Aventura review, so go ahead over there and dislike it. Okay, now we have to our final comment. Zeke Jason asked if I can do a review of a Koenigsegg JR. This is another one where I'm kind of stuck at a crossroad because you can buy one by Frontier, which is they're very nice, but they're like most BBRs with the sealed body shell and stuff. And I think I'll just wait till AutoArt comes out with one. I'm saving up right now. I'm just not sure what for. I want to be one of the first ones to reserve like a signature model of AutoArt because I know they've got some good ones coming out, like the Bugatti Veyron Super Sport. I'm pretty sure they have a Koenigsegg JR that's going to be coming out relatively soon. Oh god, there's one more, I forgot. But it's just a lot of cool stuff that they're going to have. Alright, now let's cut to an ad real quick, and when we're back, we will take a look at Kyosho. Okay, now real quick, if you want to see all of the diecast cars behind these doors, hit me up on Twitter at Dream Diecast Cars. 100 followers, and I will do that collection video that you guys have all been wanting. Okay, now it's time to talk about the brand in question, which today is Kyosho. Now, in my opinion, Kyosho does not get as much traction as it really deserves. For example, I hear people talking about brands like AutoArt much more than they talk about brands like Kyosho and Nora. However, brands like that, and Kyosho especially, are very good. Take this Rolls Royce Ghost for example. I'm sure you've seen my review on it. If you haven't, you should click right here. But it is just an amazing diecast car. It's expensive, indeed. I think they can go down, or I think they, the price of them should come down to like $225 now. But before they were like $300, $350, sometimes pushing $400. Pretty expensive, but you get like a lot. You get, I'm not going to go over like the whole thing, but this stainless steel, bonnet right here. I see the British word for all you British people watching, because I know that there are a lot of them from a lot of different countries. I find that really interesting too. And then You know, you've got the umbrella in the doors. You've got, you know, the opening center console, opening, like, you know, the thing between the back seats. It's almost over the top, all the stuff that they have to offer in this diecast car. And in my opinion, that's how it should be. Over the top stuff that, you know, people who don't know about diecast cars can come here and I show them a car and they're like, what? That's like a real car. That's insane. That's how it should be. And with AutoArt, I'm taking it out again, you know, you can open it up and you can see, wow, it looks very realistic. I grabbed a car, you know, with not as much, or it doesn't have any felt, but that's, you know, that's realistic to the Lotus Exige. I don't know if you can see that, you probably cannot, but there's no felts in there. But it's very realistic. Most of them do have felts and stuff, and people are like, wow, that's really realistic, but it's nothing compared to the reactions you get when you show people an opening sunroof or, you know, umbrellas popping out of the doors. That is just awesome to see. One thing that I love about Kyosho is the multiple buttons that they have to offer throughout the car. For example, these two each have 3. One to open up the hood area, in this case the trunk. This one actually only has, I think, 2. But this one doesn't really need 3 as much because they only do it where they need it, which I like as well. Like look, right here, you don't really need a button right there because you can pull it right open. But for, you know, the actual hood of the diecast car, you need to dig your fingernails in there. Why bother? Just push this up, and you got it. This is actually the only one that I have that has 3. One to open up the front, as I showed you earlier. You pop open. One to do the spoiler. And then the other one, pop open the other trunk. I'm not saying that wrong. This is a Boxster, so it's got a trunk on either side. And then this one right here, once again, pretty similar, except it doesn't have the one on the front because it's like it's nice and easy to open. Okay, I'm not really doing it justice here. There. Nice and easy to open. You don't need to dig your fingernails into anything. So the people who made this must have said, hey, you know, why bother put that blemish on the bottom of the diecast car? And it's not really bad, but why put it there if you don't need it? But of course the back one, you know, that's really hard to open up, so you can push that, pops it a little bit, right there, and then of course spoiler. Yeah. Another thing that I really love about Kyosho is the consistency, which, walking over here again, is similar to AutoArt. AutoArt is my favorite brand of diecast cars, and probably always will be. And this is why. Because, and this doesn't prove it against Kyosho, it just proves on what I like to see in a diecast car. You look at BBR, you know, you've got one that has tons of things on the inside that opens up, that being the F430, and I don't know if anything opens up on the inside of the Enzo, but I know that the Enzo has a lot of amazing stellar details on it. And then you've got, you know, the 458, the F12, or not the BMR, but, you know, stuff like that, which is the sealed body shell and great details on the, you know, interior and exterior, but not stuff that's going to blow people away, like opening little parts. So that's not very consistent. However, when I take out, you know, an AutoArt car, I know that it's going to be perfect detail. I know what the price is going to be. You know, of course, at some point, and I think that it's predicted that this is going to happen again. There's another small price raise for AutoArt, but you know, it happened a little bit earlier. It was only like 15 bucks. I think some of the cars increased in price, but you know, it's very consistent. And I know with, these, that unlike something like NORAD or Mini Champs is one of the key ones. In fact, I have the Mini Champs SLS AMG. Let's come to something of that. And so does Bernardo. He has a great color. I really wanted one of his. I was waiting for the red to come out, but then I decided, since I saw that one in the store, that I just buy it there instead of ordering on the internet. I'm ranting on. But anyway, so mine I got much later than his. It's got felt on the interior. All the suspension is perfect. However, with his, he has a small suspension problem and no felt anywhere on the diecast car. So that's not very consistent, because it's not even like NORAD. I found sometimes some cars are better than others. This is literally one car at a certain point in its production is better than the same car a few months, maybe a year earlier. And that's not a very good thing. That right there is one of the main reasons why Kyosho is great. I can find a car that I like on the internet, realize it's made by Kyosho, and then just buy it. I don't need to do a ton of research on it. Some diecast car companies, before I drop over anything over maybe 50 bucks, if I'm going to spend that on a diecast car, which sounds low, but it's money. So if I'm going to spend anything over 50 on a company that I don't really know, I'm researching it. I need to find out how good they are, what their track record is. But with Kyosho, it's one of those brands that's like, if I find a car that I like, I see it's by Kyosho, I can just buy it, because I know that it's going to have felt on the interior. All the buttons are going to be perfect. And even if I find it for a cheaper price, I know that those components are all going to stay good. So that right there was the deal with Kyosho. They are a diecast car brand that could be given an A by any critic. They're just they're made very well. They all have stellar detail, and they're just great cars. So anyone thinking of buying a diecast car and seeing something that is by Kyosho that they're thinking of, getting, look no further. Because, if that's really the kind of car you want, then there's a good chance you're not going to find anything any better than what they've made. Now, right before we leave, though, I just want to say one negative thing. This is something that I really hate about Kyosho, and this is that they are licensed to make Ferraris. Make new ones. I want to see 458. Maybe they're licensed like expired or something, so I can't really call it a negative. But I see old things like, the F50, 48, sorry. God, I'm just totally losing it. Anyway, I see stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, wow, that's a really cool car, but I'm not as into older cars, so am I really going to spend 200 bucks on something that I know is going to be good? But I'd rather, I'd rather get the kind of car that I like more. So if they could make Ferraris that are in production now, then I think Kyosho would be on the very top of the totem pole. Well, I was thinking of doing the Jenna Marbles outro, but my dog is much too large. So yeah, that's the video. Comment, tell me if you like this sort of video. Tell me if you like this sort of video, because it's really, I'm going to rant on about you guys now, but it's awesome knowing that I can make a video and there are going to be 300 people at least that watch it on a regular basis, and I've got 630 people that at least think about checking it out. So you guys really mean a lot to me, so tell me what you think about this sort of style. If you love it, I'll do it more often. If you hate it, I'll stop doing it. Just whatever you guys want. So thank you guys all very much, and I hope to see you next Monday. Bye, everyone.